So let's now deal with material requirement planning. Material requirement planning is named as MRP 1. Okay, MRP 1. Here, what are the contents are going to be discussed? EOQ, material level, all these things are learned along with the costing paper, even classification of material. In this second part video, we are going to discuss MRP 1 theory, EOQ reorder level under probability model, and bill of material, BOM. These three are going to be studied here. Okay, so we have completed all these things. All the things already. So MRP, material requirement planning, MRP 1 theory aspects. We'll directly go for this one. Okay. Calculate EOQ and reorder level. Calculate EOQ and reorder level. So for the EOQ, the formula being root of 2AO by C. Right. Daily demand for the product Z is normally distributed, normal distribution model, with a mean of 50, with a mean of 50. Okay. So mean is nothing but average, X bar, 50. And standard deviation being 5. Standard deviation being 5. 50 per day. Standard deviation being 5. So every day you consume around 50. The requirement being 50, and with a standard deviation, upside may go up to another 5 and downside also may go up to another 5. So 40 to 60. That's what about the standard deviation. Supply is virtually certain with a lead time of 6 days. So lead time being 6 days. Usually what you do, lead time consumption 6 into 50. So how do you calculate reorder level? Reorder level is equal to lead time consumption in plus safety stock. Two formulae are there. One is maximum consumption into maximum reorder period. The another formula being lead time consumption plus some safety stock. Lead time consumption 6 days is there. Per day you consume 50. Add some safety stock. This is called lead time consumption. But if the lead time and the consumption is probability based, then how can we calculate? That's what about the scenario here. Right. The cost of placing an order being 8, annual carrying cost being 20% of the unit price being 1.2. So then carrying cost per unit per annum being 1.2 into 20%. Come on, tell me. 0.24. Ordering cost being 8. And price of the commodity being 1.20. Is that okay? Finish up this one. So EOQ here being 2 into annual requirement. What is the annual requirement? Every day you consume around 50. In a year we have 360 or 365 days. So I assume 365 days here. 365 into per day I am consuming 50. This is what about the annual requirement. Ordering cost being 8 and carrying cost being 0.24. Am I right? Then take the root of this. So EOQ in this case being 320 units. 320 units. Usually in reorder level, you have two models. One is maximum consumption to maximum reorder period. The another one being lead time consumption. Lead time into D. This is called lead time consumption. Lead time consumption is nothing but this one. Okay. Daily demand multiply with the lead time consumption. Okay, lead time. So this will be considered as demand per day. Demand per day. So demand into number of days. If you multiply these two, this is called lead time consumption. Plus you have to add some safety stock. You know that safety stock part is pretty different here. Z standard deviation of the lead time. This is the another extra formula you have to understand. Z represents what? Normal distribution curve. Okay, in normal, earlier we You might have studied that in PET and CTM, right? That same normal distribution is here also applicable, Z value. That bell-shaped diagram, okay? Now come on, tell me, what about the daily demand? 50. What is the lead time? 6. This is called lead time consumption. Now, you have to find out the Z for the probability of your stock maintenance, not stock out. Let's see here. 95% service level is desired for the customers who places orders during the reorder period. 95% served. It means 100 times demand is there. Definitely I will meet 95 times on time. Some 5 times may be missing because of the non-availability of stock. So 95% if I want to meet, then what could be the reorder level? For the 95% Z value being 1.645. So 1.645. Right. Now standard time of the lead time. Standard time of the lead time. Is that okay? How do we calculate the standard time of lead time? Okay. So standard time of lead time is equal to standard deviation variance into lead time and take the root of this. Okay. I just write it here. You can get the variance for the lead time, and then take the root of this. So here what happens? Standard deviation in this case being 5 to the power 2 into lead time being 6. This is called standard deviation for the lead time and take the root of this. Take the root of this. You apply the formula directly. 300 plus 1.645 into 5.5 to the power 25 into 6. 150. Take the root of 150. I think it is 12.25. Am I right? So if you multiply these two and add with the 300, your reorder level in this case being 320 units. This formula is unique and available for the operations management paper, not in the costing paper. Clear? Shall we move on to the next one? Make it faster. So here you need to understand this extra formula for reorder level. Lead time consumption into lead time, and you have to find out the standard deviation for the lead time and apply for the probability you desire to meet using the normal distribution model. Clear? So online I got the message only from Srividya. What about the others? Make it faster. Now, here we have been given again Z value for 97.5 percentage, 1.96. Yeah, of course, you can go for searching the Z value for 97.5 percentage using the Z table also. But usually in your exam, it is given so that I included in the question itself. The demand of a certain item is random. So when it is random, then it's not static, it's a probability. It will be always changing. Then usually will depend on normal distribution. It has been estimated that the monthly demand of the item has a normal distribution with a mean of 680. This is what about the mean, 680. And a standard deviation, this is 680 per month. Standard deviation being 130 per month. 130 per month. The unit price per unit being 10 rupees, ordering cost being 20, and inventory carrying cost being 25 percentage. Okay, 25 percentage means you have to multiply with 25 percentage on the price. So 2 rupees 50 paise is the carrying cost. The procurement lead time is constant and is 1 week. So lead time in this case is equal to 1 week. So here the demand and standard deviation given for the month, but lead time is given for a week. So you have to calculate reverse angle. Earlier, lead time being 6 days, but the demand is per day, so you multiply. Here, demand is for 1 month, but the lead time is 1 week. Then you have to find out the 1 week's demand. 1 week's demand. Clear. Find out the most economic ordering policy and expected total cost controlling inventory given that the service level is 97.5%. Okay, first finish up EOQ. EOQ is equal to root of 2AO by C, 2 into annual demand being 680 is the demand per month into 12 months. Okay, into ordering cost being 20 divided by carrying cost in this case being 2.5. Come on, make a note of it. Is it 361 units? Yeah. Now find out the reorder level. Reorder level in this case is equal to lead time consumption, DL. D is the demand and L represents lead time, plus probability applicable for the standard deviation of the lead time. This standard deviation of lead time can be written as what? Okay, variance for the lead time and take the root of this. Take the root of this. And demand being 680 and lead time being 1 week. We assume 1 month consisted of 4 weeks. Like 1 month is equal to 4 weeks. Then into 1/4 month. 1/4 month. 1 week is equal to 1/4 month. Plus what Z will be taken? My service acceptance level 97.5%. For 97.5%, Z will be 1.96. 1.96. Multiplied with standard deviation square for the lead time. Standard deviation square for the lead time. Here 130 to the power 2, lead time being 1/4 month. 1/4 month. Take the root of this. And 680 into 1/4. 680 into 1/4. Come on. 340, 160, am I right? 170. 170 plus 1.96. Come on, get me this value first of all. 65. Now find out the full final value. 297.4. Otherwise 170 plus this value being 127.4, total value being 297.4. Am I right? Actually, find out the most economic ordering policy and expected total cost of controlling inventory given that the service level is 97.5. This 127.4, you know, this is nothing but safety stock. This is nothing but lead time consumption. This is lead time consumption. Clear? If you want to specify. In this illustration, we have to calculate the cost also. We have to calculate the cost also. Ordering cost, material cost, carrying cost and all. The uniqueness of calculating the cost in this case is related to the carrying cost. Rest will be the same way how we calculated for the other basic illustrations on EOQ. Let me try to finish up that cost calculation. Now, what about the material cost? Annual requirement being 680 units into 12 rupees, sorry, 12 month. Per unit cost us me 10 rupees. What about the overall material cost? 81,600, isn't it? 81,600 is the material cost. What is the ordering cost? Annual requirement divided by quantity order every time into ordering cost. Annual requirement being 680 into 12 divided by quantity order every time being 361 units, and ordering cost being 20 rupees. Come on, get the final value. 452. 452. Ordering cost is equal to carrying cost, right? Usually at EOQ, but here it will not work. It will not work. Under safety stock model, it will not work. Why? Okay. Because here we use the safety stock always. In the previous class, I guided you the quantity what you have at the 0th period being this much. Periodically, you are consuming and become 0, then you are replacing and consuming 0 and replacing. Here it may be 100 units, here it's 0. So you have 100 units here, here you have 0 units, so you can take these two and average of this, which is nothing but half of 100. But when we have the safety stock model, you understand, we always maintain this extent as safety stock. We keep this much stock, and the moment it touches this, again we replace. Touches and replaces. Clear? So what happens? Will you make your currency what you have in your pocket empty? Usually you will have at least some balance, right? What happens if you are using any mobile? Some balance will be there. Usually before the expiry, you will top up. Is that okay? What happens if you have the bike? Will not go 0 petrol. You have slight quantity of petrol, immediately go for refilling. What happens in the case of gas in your home? Will all the 2 cylinder become 0 to refill? No, beforehand. So some extent you will always have, this is called safety stock. Then what happens here? Maybe 100, this may be 20, this may be 0. In this place you have 100, here you have 20. Then it becomes again 100. Then how can we take the average now? 100 plus 20 by 2. 120 will be the average. Or how can you answer this? The difference between these two. Okay, 100 plus 0, sorry, 80. 80 plus 0 by 2. And this extent remains always static without any reduction. So 80 plus 0 by 2 is nothing but 40, and for this 20 remains same. That time also it becomes 60, sorry. So you can either calculate like this way, 100 plus 0 by 2, similarly 100 plus safety stock by 2. What you can do, you can take this value directly, 80 plus 0 by 2 directly, that safety stock is added further. This 80 is nothing but EOQ. This 80 is nothing but EOQ. The quantity becomes this much. Touches the safety stock, immediately you order fresh, which is equal to EOQ. So then the formula being half into quantity ordered every time, which is EOQ, plus into carrying cost, and plus safety stock into carrying cost. Here we don't use the half because the safety stock remains stock with us for throughout the year. Is that clear? Hope now you'll be able to understand. This is the formula for carrying cost here. So let's work out that here. For carrying cost, I work out here separately. Half into quantity ordered every time, which is called EOQ, and into carrying cost plus safety stock what you have into carrying cost. You understand the logic of this one? This is separate one. This is not applicable at the costing chapter level, right? Now fill this half into EOQ order being 361 into carrying cost being 2 rupees 50 paise plus safety stock being 127.4 into carrying cost here being 2.5. Get the ultimate value here. 770. Is that okay? Then total material cost in this case being 82,822. If you calculate this part alone, leaving the safety stock, this will be equivalent to the ordering cost, which is 452. As per the EOQ model, ordering cost is matching with the carrying cost. The ordering cost, what you have 452 will be available for the carrying cost also to the extent of EOQ only. Because of you are keeping some safety stock additionally round the clock for the entire year, so you have to calculate completely the same rate without dividing this by half, dividing by 2. Clear? Hope now you will be able to understand. This is what about the next illustration. So cost calculations also. Shall I move on to the next one? Make it faster. Now, then there's a small theory related to the classification of materials, ABC. Your materials are classified into A category, B category, and C category. A category material is named as the costliest one. Okay. Price is higher, quantity is lesser. Probably, if you spend 100 rupees for purchasing all the 3 products, 70 rupees is for A, 20 rupees for B, and 10 rupees for C. And overall 100 units you purchase means where the A consists only 10 quantities, B consists 20, and C consisted of 70 quantity. Higher quantity with lower number of lower price will be called as C category. Lower quantity with higher price is called as A category. In your home, just think over gold and jewelry. Okay, gold, jewelry, whatever it may be, are called as A category. Small quantity kept in the bureau and locker. And furniture, like you can keep it outside. Some other documents may have the voluminous but may be kept in the bureau. It may be locker, it may be bureau, it may be just in hall. So from this it is very clear for the organizations also they have different varieties of material where the quantity is very lesser but the value is very, very important. Then that will be categorized as A. Inventory management will be strictly implemented for A category goods. The calculation of EOQ and the levels maintained, all these things is applicable only for the A category. Okay, how much quantity you need to have for A. Overstocking also costly. Understocking also spoils your business to do the operations when you are in need. But C category, it's very cheaper. Keep it aside. Keep it there itself. Whenever you are in need, you can take. So after classification, then material requirement planning will be implemented strictly for the A category. Once it is strictly implemented, then they will go for B and C also later. Clear? Now we'll move on to the bill of material case. Bill of material. BOM. So what is called BOM? What is called BOM? C. Bill of material represents to finish a material or finished goods. We are in need of different varieties of components. For each and every component, how many units are also required is given as a tree diagram, which is called bill of material. From there, you can easily find out what is the quantity of each and every raw materials category required for your production. Is that okay? Now let's see. From this BOM, I'm going to find out the material requirement. The following the product structure tree indicates the components needed to assemble one unit of product Y. So we plan to manufacture Y. For every unit of Y, determine the quantities of each component needed to assemble 100 units of Y. Here, the details is for producing one unit of Y. But how many numbers of units are going to be manufactured? 100 units are going to be manufactured. Considering the inventory records. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, D, G. So these are the varieties of metals are in need. What are they? A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Okay. These are the materials needed. Clear? Start with one after one. To produce one Y, what I need? Okay. Need for producing one Y. Need for producing one Y, I need one A, 2B. The number given in bracket represents number of quantities you are in need. For producing one Y, we need to have 4 C's. 4 C. Is that okay? Clear? Any doubts here? Now let's go for this one. How many A you are in need? You need 1 A. To produce 1 A, what are the things are in need? You need 2D. You need 1 E. You need 1 E. So now we completed producing A. Now for producing E, B, sorry. Now producing B. How many B's are needed? How many B's are needed? I need 2 B's. So I need to produce 2 B's. For the 2 B's production, I need how many E? 2 E's for every B. Then 2 B means I need 4 E needed. 4 E needed. How many F needed? 1 F needed for every B, but I need 2 B's. So 2 F needed. 2 F needed. And move on to C. How many C are needed? 4 C needed to manufacture 1 Y. For 4 C, what are the components are needed? D and G. Come on, tell me how many D's needed? 3 D's needed for every C. 4 C means 4 into 3. 12 D's are needed. 12 D's are needed. And G, 2G needed for every C. 4G means 4C means 4 into 2. 8G needed. 8G needed. And Apart from that, to produce G, how many G's are going to be produced? Okay. Okay. Now, G. How many G's are to be produced here currently? 8G are produced. For every G, I need 1 D. For 8G, how many D's are needed? 8 D's are needed. So, what is my requirement? What is my requirement? 1A, 2B, 4C, and 22D, 5E, 2F, 8G. These are the requirements. And already we have stock, opening stock. I have opening stock this much. This is for 1 unit. For 100 units, 100, 200, 400, 2200, 500, 200, 800 needed. So how much will be opening stock already available? 5A, 15B, 7C, 75D, 40E, 20F, 12G. Now if I subtract actual requirement to be replaced, 95 shortage. This is required 185, 393, 2125, 460, 180, 788. Okay, this is what about the requirement. This is called bomb. This is called bomb. Clear? Make a note of it. See, MRP 2 dealing with the manufacturing resource planning. MRP 1 dealing with material requirement planning. Here it's manufacturing resource planning. It's a theory part. You can learn it later on along with madam's lecture. Let me directly go for the economic batch quantity. In EBQ, you learn that this is similar to what? EOQ, right? But the formula is root of 2AS by C is the formula. Clear? So we have completed the question number 1, 2. These questions were completed already, right? Along with the material and the EBQ in the previous class itself. Now my intention is to make you understand this question number 3, a different approach. See, in case of EOQ, how should be the diagram? You have this much of stock, constantly you are consuming and it becomes zero. You assume this constantly consuming, but consumption may also be varying. Anyhow, we assume everyday consumption being the constant one. The moment it becomes zero, you get the fresh order delivered. Straight line. Okay. Again it becomes zero and filled up. This is what about the EOQ model. Under EBQ model also same. Okay. In EOQ model, the raw material you are purchasing from the outside. The moment it becomes zero, you order 1000 units. Assume it may be 1000 units. The next moment it gets delivered, the stock will be inflated. But in EBQ model, no, the raw materials you are not purchasing from the outside, you are manufacturing. But the production rate is higher than the consumption rate. That's the assumption. What happens? What happens here? So in your home, you may be around 5 or 6 in your home. Huh? Your mom is preparing the dosa. You want to have the dosa hot or chill? Huh? hot. Okay. So if your mom prepares a dosa with big size and thick, serves hot, what happens then? Even one dosa is enough for you. Once you complete this, then all these things will go cold and you will not feel satisfied. Is that okay? Now what happens then? Very thin and crispy small dosa is prepared. For preparing, your mom takes 1 minute. You are sitting nearby the stove itself, and the moment it served to your plate, you complete by half a minute. What happens then? What happens then? You will just always disturb your mom. Where is the next dosa? Then your mom gets tense and rises the size. Okay, to match. Clear. Now think over. Preparation time is 1 minute. Okay, preparation time is 1 minute, and consumption time is half a minute. You always disturb, what will your mother say? Wait, she cooks 2 dosas. After that, she calls you to consume. Already kept there ready. Slightly chill. Anyhow, no other way. She prepares first and then calls. Because your mom's preparation duration is 1 minute. Otherwise, you can assume this way. Your mom prepares 10 dosas per hour. You consume 5 dosas. Okay, consumption being 20 dosas per hour. Okay, just for an example. Okay. So, this 20 dosas consumed by a team of 5 or 6. If all the 5 or 6 are assembling in the dining table, your mom cannot serve. So what will she do? She calls all the 5 and 6 ready to come only after completion of 10 dosas prepared. So here preparation only happens, consumption doesn't happen. Okay. Thereafter another dosa is prepared where preparation and consumption both will parallelly happen. During the preparation alone, dosa is piled up. Stock is increasing. Dosa stock is increasing. The moment the dosa stock touches 10, immediately calls for consumption and you start consuming. Your team will start consuming. Okay. This logic will be applicable in case of EBQ. What happens here? Already 10 dosas are there and called for consumption, and as the consumption starts, it becomes zero. Clear? I just think that preparation speed is higher. In the other way. I just think in the other way. Okay. Other way means preparation may be 10 dosas per hour, consumption being only 5 dosas per hour. Okay. The moment there is no dosas, your mom will start prepare dosas. For every 1 hour, 10 dosas prepared and 5 dosas consumed and stock piled up 5. Another hour, another 10 dosas consumed, another 5 consumed, prepared and consumed. 5 dosas is increasing, already 5 is there, so 10 dosas. Third hour, she prepares another 10 dosas, only 5 consumed, then this piled up to 15. If the piled up dosas are increasing, then it seems to be not tasty. No, it's not hot. So what will you? Wait. Don't prepare the dosa now. I'll finish off the fresh dosas and then I'll order for the fresh dosas. So immediately what happens? Fourth time, ask your mom to stop. You consume 5 dosas. Then it becomes 10. Fifth hour, you asked your mom not to start preparing. You consume 5 dosas and it becomes 5. And sixth hour, you start consume and it becomes 0. Then seventh hour, you ask your mom to prepare. Both will go parallelly. So the moment it becomes 0, you ask your mom to prepare. So your mom prepares, that preparation increases the stock available. Because of the parallel consumption, the stock available also be reduced. This is preparation. This is consumption. This is stockpiled up. This is stockpiled up. Is that okay? Preparation is also there. Stockpiling up also there. The moment the stock piled up, that stock accumulated is more than some extent, remains unused in the godown and carrying cost is higher. Or in case of dosa, it seems to be very chill. I don't want to taste it. Stop there. I'll finish up eating the things served in the table or in my plate. Once it is over, then I'll ask you to prepare fresh so that I'll taste the hot and crispy dosa later. That's the logic here. So we have the preparation as well as consumption both parallelly going on. So here preparation, consumption. The moment it touches a certain level like this one, this is called reorder level, here reproduction level. Okay, in this case, you ask your mom to stop. Thereafter, only consumption takes place. The stock available will be decreasing. Thereafter, the moment it touches zero, then you ask your parents to start prepare, or the manufacturing will start, and your consumption also starts. So, consumption is constant always. Preparation started, construction is constant. The moment preparation after the consumption, the piled up balance and unused stock, reaches the reorder level, ask them to stop. Wait. This is called, rather than reorder level, it's a re-preparing time. Stop that maximum level. Okay, this is how the batch costing will come here in practical life. So, zero, production starts. See, here, this will be production. This extent consumed, this is stock. So, in case of reorder quantity, zero straight away increases because at a stretch you will get the goods delivered. But it's not delivered. It's preparing and consuming. Gradually stockpile up is increasing. So, 5, 10, 15, gradually increasing. But in case of quantity ordered, the entire quantity will come. Is that clear? This is the logic. In this case, the formula is pretty different. You see the formula here in case of EBQ with constant production. EBQ with constant production. So, EBQ with constant production. Always remember, production is faster than the consumption. Production is faster than the consumption. So, the formula being similar to the formula what we have already learned, root of 2as by c. But in the denominator, you need to do one more adjustment here. 1 minus demand by production rate. Consumption rate by production rate or demand by production rate. Okay, always remember D is slower and P is higher, faster. Yeah, X Limited is manufacturing lifting tools. These lifting tools are made up of polypropylene fiber. The company installed a plant for backward integration of its raw material polypropylene fiber. Okay. So, is manufacturing lifting tools. For that, they need polypropylene fiber. So, this is the raw material also manufactured. This is the finished goods also manufactured. For manufacturing the finished goods, they are in raw material also be prepared. The preparation speed of raw material may be faster, the consumption speed of that will be lesser. Right? It produces these polypropylene fibers at the rate of 5,000 metric ton per hour. So 5,000 metric ton per hour. And the usage rate of these fibers for the production of lifting tool is 20,000 metric ton per day. 20,000 metric ton per day. To confuse you, here it is given hour, it is given as a day. A day consists of 8 hours, okay, usually. Then you can convert that to per hour. So 2,500 metric ton per hour. See, production is higher and consumption is slower. Clear? So they have slightly twisted. This one is given per hour basis. This is given for 8 hours basis. So you have to convert both into the hourly basis and then you can proceed further. The cost of fiber is 5 rupees per meter. Okay, price being 5 rupees, inventory carrying cost being 25%, or you multiply these two to get the carrying cost per unit per annum. How much is that? 1.25. And setup cost, here we don't have the ordering cost, but we have the setup machine setup cost for manufacturing, which is 4050 per setup. Compute the optimum number of cycle required in a year for the manufacture of this special fiber. Take 365 days as a number of days. Okay, so now I am applying the formula here. 2 into annual consumption being, what is the consumption here? 20,000 metric ton per day multiplied with 365 days for the annual consumption into setup cost being 4050 divided by carrying cost being 1 rupee 25 paise. This is normal EBQ model. Because of the constant production, the formula is slightly changed. Okay. 1 minus demand rate being 2500, consumption rate being, production rate being 5000. Come on, find out the ultimate value. This will be the EBQ per setup. 3,07,584 metric ton per setup. Will you be able to get this answer? Annual requirement being 73 lakhs. Okay. How can you calculate the number of setup? Number of setups being annual requirement divided by quantity required to be quantity produced per setup, EBQ. 73 lakhs divided by 3,07,584. Then final value being 23.73 times. Even we have been given the other models, but of course, recent days we don't have the other models at CMA operations management level. Even this question also very rare. But anyhow, we'll cover up this. Sometimes we have the backlog. Backlog model. For that, the illustration is this way. This slide change will be happening, but of course, no need to worry about this model, right? You'll finish up with this model. So with that, EBQ all will be over. We'll start with the cash management in the next class. Cash management and leftover FM topic will be covered in the next class. Okay.